The EX augments, did they upset you? Did this frustrate you? You probably already know exactly what I'm talking about just from me saying that, because a lot of people do. Now, we're going to talk about this, and we're going to actually talk about why and how it is and it isn't. Be sure to like, subscribe, because if you do, I'm going to tickle you. So pretty much the EX augments obviously are the new augments that come with the Iridium series, and you can transfer just EX augments, or you can transfer, all your augments, whatever. But the big thing here is that when you transfer them, it wipes off everything. So a lot of people maybe just built their wing guards, took advantage of the enhancement buff that we had, put top augments on it, so, and then you get this news where the EX augments are going to wipe everything. And now you're like, oh, raging baby, because you're like cursing the world and stuff like that, right? And understandably so. I was pretty frustrated by it as well, because of course, I have a top tier, I have a Wingard, and it's top augments. All my units are top augments, but that's beyond the point. And that's top gear. And so I was like, well, man, I can't really do these EX augs, otherwise, I have to wipe these off, or I have to re-augment in some way, shape, or form, right? And these things are expensive. If I wanted to buy them, which I don't buy them, I have the materials for them. But either way, it's time consuming to do the dual quest and stuff. But for the normal person, you might be buying them, and it's like 9 mil a pop for a land gizmo, say on ship one. So it was a little frustrating. It was a little frustrating, and this was taking place in the stream, so everything was happening, and we were talking with chat, and chat was giving input, and so, and it got to a point where, as I was talking about it, I suddenly switched, because you can't be upset with this like this. And I had to look at it like this. I always look at things in a very grand scope of things. And so while the way that this works with the EX augments, it is frustrating for people who have already geared. But on the other side of it, you have to look at it, how big this is for everyone and anyone else. For all the casual players and stuff like this is an absolute win. And what it really does is it really balances the game out. It helps to balance the whole environment out. Now, of course, we know that even when people are handed things like this, they still opt to somehow, I do not understand, manage to use like argincles and F's, and think that that's enough. But anyways, this, for all intents and purposes, balances things out tremendously for any and everything with regards to just the entire population of the game. So you have to think of it, or at least this is how I think of it. It's not necessarily the most beneficial for me, for my main class, which is unfortunate, but I can't be upset with it because of how impactful it is for the rest of the community, for the rest of the servers, the rest of the population. And because of that, I can't be upset with it, because also, just because it's not beneficial necessarily, or it's frustrating for me, for my main class or my main weapon, I play a bunch of different classes. We know this. You will come into my stream, you will see me on Force, you will see me playing Wire, you will see me playing Wand, you will see me playing Slayer, you will see me playing Hunter, you will see me playing everything. You will see me playing everything. I play lots of different classes, and I have weapons geared up for these classes because I do play them. So in that regard, this is also a godsend, because this works beautifully for like my other weapons. I have a bunch of Zovers that are Fatale 4 and Fatale 3, and a dagger that's Fatale, that's a Blaster 5. So this works beautifully for all of those, because I can just transfer the EX Augs over there. They don't have any like top tier Augs. They just have like, kind of LC Augs and Mega Trial, stuff like that, because I can do that because my units are all top augments. So I have a little bit of freedom, flexibility, and my potency and everything, and floor potency is still all the way up there, because all my units are maxed out top odds. So it allows me freedom on off weapons. Then of course my main weapon, which is my twin machine gun, my wing guard, is of course all max odds. But you have to look at it like that. You can't be selfish with it, because I know it's real easy to be that way. It's real easy to be frustrated by it, because it's more difficult for you. And I understand, it's you, and I'm like, of course I'm like joking there, but at the same time, that's natural, that's normal human nature, I guess, right? So you can't really be upset by that, but you have to look at it for the betterment of the whole, and for how you should be playing the game in the first place, by utilizing other classes. There's all these classes in the game. There's no reason why you should just be stuck on one. Plain and simple, but a lot of people choose to do that, and that limits your enjoyment of the game, right? So this is really where my view is at on that. And ultimately, it comes down to, this benefits everybody. The 1%, the 1 to 5% of us that are already heavily top geared, and maybe only play that one single class or whatever. Yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating that we have to re-augment, especially after we just put these augments on and stuff like that. But for the rest, 95 or 90% of the population that plays the game, whether it's playing with different classes or whether it's just they're more casual players, this is a tremendous win. And it really does help to balance the game out. It helps to balance the population out, so that we see less gearing disparities. So that's my view on it. That's my take on it. Hopefully this kind of opened up your mind to a little bit more insight, and more kind of a more reasonable way to look at it. Because I know I've seen some comments, and I've seen people talk about it and being angry about that, like, oh, like we just spent this money, and we spent all this time upgrading our weapon, and then Sega does this to us, and now we can't even do it because that's gonna erase all of our stuff. Like, so I understand, frustrated by, understandably so. That is kind of poopity poop, but in the grand scope of things, and the fact that you should be playing other classes anyway, this is very huge. It broadens your view, broadens your image all around altogether, because it enables you very easily to really play these other classes as well. And for casual players, it really allows you to get up to speed and be more competitive, especially moving into newer content like the Solus R2 that we're getting as well. So be sure to like, subscribe. Hopefully this helped, and I will see y'all in the next one. Happy hunting. Much love. Holla.
Spike2 content.